Alright, Rich Van Tassel here, giving you the recap of yesterday's championship games. We're going to start first with the AFC Championship game. The Denver Broncos defeated the New England Patriots 20-18. Low scoring game, a little bit more low scoring than I would have expected. For the Patriots, Tom Brady 27 of 56, 310 yards, one touchdown, two interceptions. Also threw an interception on the attempted game tying 2-point conversion. Tom Brady was the top runner, 3 carries, 13 yards, 4.3 yards per rush. Brandon Bolden, the top running back, 5 for 12. James White, 5 for 11. Altogether, the team was 17 of 44, 2.6 yards per rush. Steven Jackson had a rushing touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, big day in the receiving game, 8 receptions, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. Julian Edelman, 7 for 53. James White, 5 for 45. Only 5 receivers total caught passes, a little surprising for a New England offense. James White fumbled. It was not lost. Jonathan Freeney recovered a fumble. Team had 3 sacks, no interceptions, and Steven Gostkowski was 2 for 2 in his field goals, but missed what was obviously a critical extra point. For the Broncos, Peyton Manning again efficient, 17 of 32, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. C.J. Anderson, 16 of 72, 4.5 yards per rush. Ronnie Hillman, 11 of 16. Peyton Manning, 3 for 11 running the ball. The team altogether was 30 of 99, 3.3 yards per rush. Emmanuel Sanders, the top receiver, 5 receptions, 62 yards. Owen Daniels, 2 for 33 and 2 touchdowns. Peyton Manning lost the fumble. It was actually a backward pass that was challenged by the Patriots. The team had 4 sacks. Darian Stewart and Von Miller had interceptions. And Brandon McManus was 2 for 2 in his field goals and extra points. Now, this game was obviously all about the Denver defense. They were all on Tom Brady. They had the 4 sacks. They were pressuring him all game long, making him uncomfortable. I mean, there were at least 3 or 4 times Tom Brady was practically on the ground and he's throwing a pass. The pressure was just unreal. Give Wade Phillips a lot of credit. And on the other end, New England just threw the ball way too much, 56 times. That's what they've been doing all season. It's gotten them this far. But the chickens came home to roost when they were getting pressure the way it was in that game. I'm surprised New England didn't go to running the ball a bit more. But that's how they play, and it ended up costing them. Peyton Manning was efficient enough. Didn't throw any interceptions. Was basically right at 50% for his completions. It was just one pass better than that. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do in the Super Bowl. But that's 2 weeks away, and we'll get into that when the time comes. All right, and then the NFC Championship game, the Panthers throttled the Arizona Cardinals 49-15. For the Cardinals, Carson Palmer 23 of 40, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. Larry Fitzgerald threw a pass that was incomplete. Arizona, David Johnson 15 carries, 60 yards, 4 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. He was the top receiver, David Johnson, that is, 9 for 68. Michael Floyd 3 for 37, Darren Fells 2 for 36, Larry Fitzgerald 4 for 30. Darren Fells had a touchdown. Carson Palmer fumbled twice and lost 2 fumbles. Patrick Peterson also had a fumble. It was lost. That was on a punt return. The team had only 1 sack. Patrick Peterson did have an interception. He returned it 72 yards. J.J. Nelson, 2 kick returns for 45 yards, 22.5 yards per return. Pretty good. Chandler Cantazero didn't kick any field goals. For the Panthers, Cam Newton, sensational, 19-28, 335 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jonathan Stewart, 19 carries, 83 yards, 4.4 yards per rush. Cam Newton, 10 carries, 47 yards, 4.7 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns. Ted Ginn Jr., 1 carry for 22 yards and a touchdown. The team altogether 37-152. 4.1 yards per rush, 3 touchdowns. So they kept running the ball as they've done all season. Corey Brown, top receiver, 4 for 113 and a touchdown. Greg Olsen, 6 for 113. Devin Funchess, 2 for 21. He had a touchdown. Teddy Williams, Luke Kuechly, and Trey Boston all recovered the fumbles. The team had 3 sacks. Kirk Coleman, 2 interceptions. Luke Kuechly, 1 interception in return for a touchdown. That was very late in the game. Trey Boston also had an interception. Graham Gano, 2 for 2 in his field goals, 5 for 5 in his extra points. Now, obviously, the story of this game was turnovers. Carson Palmer, 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles, 6 total turnovers just from your quarterback. getting a little tongue-tied there with the alliteration. That's just not going to do it. Patrick Peterson had a fumble on a punt return. They got down quickly 17-0. They got it back to 10. Peterson was trying to catch it on the run. He's a dangerous punt returner. Had he caught it, he might have been able to bring it all the way back because he was moving forward. So it's a gamble you got to take in that situation, and it was unfortunate he fumbled. He made up for it with his interception and 72-yard return late in the half. That gave Arizona a chance to get right back in it. But then Carson Palmer threw an interception right on top of that. Carson Palmer was just terrible in this game. They had no answers for Carolina. I think they got a bit deflated by the turnovers. Certainly, you give up that many or that much bad field position when you're turning the ball over like that, you're gonna have a problem. So that's what happened to the Cardinals yesterday, and they got butchered because of it. So your Super Bowl is going to be the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. We will give you obviously much more in the 2 weeks leading up to it, but there is your NFC and AFC Championship game recap. And be sure to stay tuned for everything later in the week, like weekly NBA reports and flash news alerts. Thank you. All right, Rich Fantastic.